Imagine you're a hardworking American, scraping by to pay your bills, and suddenly the rules that protect your everyday life, like fair airfares or clean energy rebates, start bending for the folks who used to wine and dine the very people making those rules. What if the line between public service and private profit just got a whole lot blurrier? That's the wild ride we're on right now in Trump's second term, and it's hitting closer to home than you think. Hey everyone, welcome back, where we break down the big stuff in American politics without all the spin. Today we're diving into something that's been buzzing in the Beltway but might not have hit your newsfeed yet: the revolving door between K Street lobbyists and the Trump administration. You know, those power players who swap suits from private firms to public office and back again, often with a suitcase full of client cash. It's like that old Washington tradition where yesterday's advisor becomes today's regulator, and their old buddies keep the checks rolling in. Now I get it, lobbying sounds like some dry, wonky topic, but stick with me here, because this isn't just about fat cats in suits. It's about how decisions on everything from your next flight delay to the gas prices at the pump could be tilting toward big corporations, all because of who used to sign the paychecks for some of Trump's top picks. And yeah, we're keeping it real and neutral. This door swings both ways in D.C., but right now, in September 2025, 6 months into Trump's second go-round, it's spinning faster than ever. Let's unpack it step by step, like we're chatting over a backyard barbecue. First off, a quick history lesson to set the stage, because understanding the roots makes the present feel less like a soap opera and more like a pattern we can actually do something about. The revolving door isn't new. It's been a fixture in American politics since the days of Teddy Roosevelt cracking down on monopolies. Back in the Gilded Age, big business and government were basically besties, with tycoons like Rockefeller pulling strings from boardrooms to Capitol Hill. Fast forward to the 20th century, and laws like the Federal Regulation of Lobbying Act in 1946 tried to put some guardrails on it. But here's the kicker: those rules have loopholes big enough to drive a lobbyist's limo through. By the 1970s, with Watergate shaking things up, Congress passed tougher ethics laws, banning ex-officials from immediately jumping back into lobbying their old agencies. Sound familiar? It's the one-year cooling-off period we still have today. But enforcement? Spotty at best. Under Reagan in the 80s, deregulation fever meant more insiders cashing in. Think defense contractors cozying up to the Pentagon. Clinton promised reform but had his own revolving door moments, like Treasury secretaries heading to Wall Street. Bush and Obama eras saw spikes too, especially around finance after the 2008 crash. And Biden, we'll touch on that later, spoiler, his team wasn't immune. What makes this Trump 2 feel different, though, is the sheer speed and scale. Just look at 3 heavy hitters who have crossed that door recently: Attorney General Pam Bondi, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. These aren't bit players. They're steering the ship on justice, travel, and the whole executive branch. And they're old firms. They're seeing a windfall in clients knocking on federal doors. Let's start with Pam Bondi, the former Florida AG who's now calling the shots at the Department of Justice. Before her swearing in earlier this year, Bondi spent 6 years at Ballard Partners, a powerhouse lobbying firm right here in D.C. She wasn't just any employee. She chaired their corporate compliance practice, rubbing shoulders with Fortune 500 giants. Fast forward to 2025, and Ballard's lobbying the DOJ on behalf of 10 clients. That's more than they did for the entire first Trump term and all of Biden's administration combined. We're talking the NFL pushing for who knows what, the University of Michigan on academic grants, even an egg producer from Pennsylvania, Hillendale Gettysburg, eyeing regulatory relief. Most of these clients signed on after Trump's election and Bondi's nomination. Coincidence? Maybe. But get this. One standout case is American Express Global Business Travel. They hired Ballard in March for $200,000, solely to lobby on antitrust issues, And boom, by July, the DOJ drops its challenge to their merger with another travel firm. Timing's everything in D.C., right? Now Bondi's ethics pledge means she can't touch matters involving her old firm or clients for a year. No waivers needed unless she asks. And her team swears up and down. No direct chats with Ballard lobbyists. But as ethics watchdog Jeff Hosser from the Revolving Door Project puts it, and this hits home, the real influence isn't always a phone call. It's the vibe in the room. If the AG's known to be business-friendly, underlings get the memo without a paper trail. That's why these firewalls feel like Swiss cheese to folks like us, just trying to keep competition fair so prices don't skyrocket. Shifting gears to the skis, literally, with Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. This guy's a former congressman from Wisconsin, reality TV star and lobbyist at BGR Group. He was on their advisory board, schmoozing clients like airlines and pipelines. Since Duffy took the helm, BGR's ramped up contacts for 19 clients, raking in over $1.8 million this year alone. That's a jump from 14 under Biden, who, remember, passed that massive infrastructure bill, and way more than the 6 from Trump's first term. New hires include Delta Airlines, whose CEO just met Duffy to chat air traffic upgrades. Delta was indirectly Duffy's client back in the day through a coalition he lobbied for. And look at the wins. Trump's megabill in July. $12.5 billion for modernizing ATC systems, music to Delta's ears. Then, Dots pulling back Biden-era rules that would have forced airlines to show bag fees up front. Travelers like you and me might end up paying more hidden costs, but hey, airlines are thrilled. Duffy's team calls it absurd to suggest favoritism. His old work was all international, they say, and points to pulling antitrust immunity from a Delta-Aeromexico deal as proof he's tough. Fair point, but with clients like the U.S. High-Speed Rail Association, who lost California funding but are optimistic, and even the Angolan government pushing for Houston flights, it's clear BGR's calendar is packed. For ordinary Americans, this means your commute or vacation could hinge on whose old firm is dialing dot. And then there's Susie Wiles, the White House Chief of Staff with a resume that reads like a lobbying hall of fame. She co-chaired Mercury Public Affairs D.C. and Florida offices, and yes, she's a Ballard alum too. Wiles oversees everything from the National Security Council to the Budget Office, so her reach is massive. Mercury. They've lobbied the Executive Office or White House on 26 domestic clients this year, two-thirds newbies. Think a Congolese tin mine owner paying $160,000 to evacuate amid rebel threats and crediting Trump for the reopen, or pharmacy benefit managers fighting back after the president's knockout pledge. Mercury hit the White House more in the first half of 2025 than all 4 Biden years. During Trump's first term, it was 44 clients total. Wiles' camp praises her ethics, but again, no details on firewalls. For us everyday folks, this trickles down to policy on everything from economic advice to national security, potentially prioritizing corporate agendas over, say, affordable meds or fair trade. Now, why does this matter to you, the truck driver in Ohio or the teacher in Texas? Because that revolving door isn't abstract. It's your wallet, your safety, your future. When lobbyists firms boom post-appointment, it can mean softer regulations for big biz, higher costs for consumers, or skewed priorities in bills that fund our roads and rails. Take the airline fee rollback. It saves carriers money but might nickel and dime you at the gate. Or clean energy rebates from the Inflation Reduction Act. Some clients fought to keep them, but they got axed in the megabill, hurting jobs in solar panel factories in the heartland. And let's be real, this isn't a Trump-only thing. Remember Biden's advisor Steve Ricchetti. His brother's firm saw a client surge post-2020 lobbying the White House on pharma and pipelines. The Podesta brothers did it across Dem admins. A veteran lobbyist I chatted with off-record, of course, said it's as American as apple pie. The doors always revolved. But the DOJ spike here. That's eyebrow-raising, even for insiders. DOJ's supposed to be the temple of impartial justice, not a lobbyist lounge. Mixed bag on wins, too. Not every client's popping champagne. Sealed, a startup pushing energy rebates hired Mercury but lost those IRA incentives. California's high-speed rail. Duffy called it a fantasy and yanked billions, despite their BGR hire. Shows the system's not rigged every time, but the access. That's the real prize. So what's the takeaway, friends? Washington's revolving door reminds us democracy's a contact sport. Lobbyists play hard, but so can we. Stay informed, vote your conscience, and hold leaders accountable, no matter the party. It's how we keep the power with the people, not the firms. If this got you thinking or fired you up, do me a solid. Hit that like button if you want more deep dives like this. Drop a comment on what revolving door story I should tackle next, and subscribe for weekly breakdowns that cut through the noise. Thanks for watching. America's story is ours to tell. See you next time.